Life will never give you perfect conditions, but your mindset can turn broken moments into new beginnings. Your thoughts are the steering wheel of your life, and the direction you choose is the direction you live. This is the story of Zareen Appa, a woman who had nothing material to offer, yet transformed her entire village with nothing but the power of a peaceful mind. In a quiet village, where dusty roads curved around green fields, stood a small mud house under a giant banyan tree. The house was old, its walls cracked, its roof patched many times, but something about it felt warm, like it held more peace than any grand home ever could. This was the home of Zareen Appa. Her hair had turned completely white, as soft as cotton. The lines on her face showed years of strength, patience, and wisdom. Though her body had grown weaker with age, her presence was still powerful, gentle, calming, and filled with kindness. Every morning, she swept her small yard slowly, not rushing, as if she enjoyed every movement. Then she watered her few plants. Tiny flowers, a little basil, and a neem sapling she had planted herself years ago. After finishing her chores, she would sit with a warm cup of tea under the banyan tree, listening to the birds and the soft wind. Villagers often came to her, carrying heavy hearts. They would sit beside her and talk, sometimes crying, sometimes venting, sometimes sitting in silence. And somehow, no matter how they arrived, they always left feeling lighter, calmer, and filled with hope they didn't have before. Life in the village was not easy. Crops sometimes failed, children got sick, and money was always short. But Zareen Appa's home became a place where people came to breathe again. One afternoon, the sun was harsh and the air dry. Dust rose with every step. A young woman named Miam made her way toward the banyan tree. She walked slowly, as if her body carried too many worries. Her clothes were dusty, her eyes swollen from crying, and her hands trembled as she held the edge of her shawl tightly. The moment Zareen Appa saw her, she knew something heavy was weighing on the young woman's heart. "Come, child," Zareen Appa said softly. "Sit down. Tell me what troubles you." Miam sank to the ground, unable to hold her tears anymore. "I don't know what to do," she whispered. "My husband left for the city months ago. He promised he would find work, but he hasn't sent money or even a message. My children cry from hunger. Day by day, things get worse. I feel like I'm breaking." Zareen Appa listened without interrupting. She nodded gently, allowing Miam to release her pain. After a moment, she asked, "Tell me, my child, what do you think will happen?" Miam sighed heavily. "I keep thinking something bad must have happened. Maybe he didn't find work. Maybe he forgot us. Maybe he left us forever. These thoughts are all I can think about." Zareen Appa smiled, a warm, understanding smile filled with compassion. She said, "Let me tell you a story. Once, there was a man who had lost everything. His house burned down, his crops died, and his savings were stolen. Broken-hearted, he sat near a river and cried for hours. An old woman passed by and asked him, "Why are you crying, my son?" He said, "My life is empty now. I have nothing to live for." The old woman looked around and said, "But you still have the river singing its gentle song. You still have the sky giving light. You still have your breath, your heart, your hands. You have life, and life itself is a blessing." The man wiped his tears and looked around. For the first time in days, he noticed the soft wind, the sound of water, and the shade of the trees. His life wasn't perfect, but he realized it wasn't empty either. Zareen placed a hand on Miam's. You see, the man's situation didn't change, but his thoughts changed. And when thoughts change, strength returns. Miam looked uncertain. Do you really think positive thoughts can change my life? Zareen Appa nodded. If you start your morning with fear, fear controls your day. But if you start with hope, hope gives you strength. It doesn't mean problems disappear, but you become stronger than your problems. Miam wiped her eyes. Something inside her shifted. Just a little, but enough. From the next morning on, every day she whispered, "Today will be a good day." Her life didn't magically become perfect, but she began to feel a little stronger. She worked harder, cared for her children with more patience, and carried hope instead of fear. Weeks passed. Then one afternoon, there was a knock on Miam's door. A postman stood outside with a letter and some money. Her husband had found work. He was safe. He had been struggling, but now things were improving, and he had finally sent money home. Miam stared at the letter, tears of relief streaming down her face. She ran toward Zareen Appa's house, her heart overflowing with joy. "You were right!" she shouted as she reached the banyan tree. "Everything is changing! Hope worked!" Zareen Appa smiled. When you think positive, you open the doors for good things to enter. Life will always test you, but hope will always carry you. Word of Zareen Appa's wisdom spread like gentle wind through the village. People began repeating her simple words. If you think light, you live light. Fear weakens. Hope strengthens. Gratitude turns what you have into enough. Slowly, the atmosphere of the whole village changed. People smiled more, helped each other more, faced troubles with courage instead of fear. And Zareen Appa, sitting under her banyan tree with her warm cup of tea, became the peaceful heart of the entire village. She proved that peace doesn't come from a perfect life. It comes from a peaceful mind. If this story touched your heart and reminded you of the power of positive thinking, then support the message by liking the video, sharing it with someone who needs hope today, subscribing for more uplifting stories, turning on the bell icon so you never miss an upload, and commenting, "I choose positive thoughts," to affirm your mindset shift.